All right, thanks for tuning in. This is the video series around ASCO. And if you're trying to influence, educate, and convert those niche HCPs, specifically around medical oncology, this video is for you. I'm in client planning mode right now for next year, and I wanted to bring you some additional information. If you haven't watched the first video that I cranked out last week, I'm going to include it in the show notes, the description below. It's the mind-blowing reveal of what they're charging, the cost per thousand, the CPM, specifically for ASCO and the website. And in this video, I'm going to break down a much more cost-effective and more precise targeting that you can reach your niche HCP, your medical oncologist before game day at ASCO. Let's get into it. All right, full disclosure, we're going to get nerdy specifically around media buying. And right now I'm in planning mode right now for clients when it comes to specifically ASCO, right? So if you're watching this video, you're probably planning for ASCO right now, or potentially like looking to get in there soon. So I wanted to bring you some valuable information when it comes to reaching your medical oncologist, specifically online one-to-one before the big game day, right? Before ASCO in Chicago next year in May. And specifically, I'm going to focus on leveraging the power of first-party data, specifically around identifier numbers. You may have heard of this. They're NPI numbers, National Provider Identifier numbers. You can also leverage CPT codes and ICD-10 codes, right? So this is first-party data. We've been leveraging this for many, many years. We've got definitely a couple different partners that we can tap into and mine this information. And just to back up a little bit for a second. So the previous video, if you haven't watched it, I'd recommend going in there. I'm going to include it in the show notes, specifically below in the description. So go ahead and check that out. That'll get you up to speed because I unveil an unreal, like specifically around what the costs are to advertise on ASCO and their website. And it's mind-blowing what they're charging for their cost per thousand, their CPM. And I'm going to get into some of our CPMs just so you can see it when it comes to, we know what we're charging our clients to be able to execute. And the great thing about this targeting, it's much more precise. So if you're advertising on ASCO and their website, that's totally fine. Obviously, you're going to get a high percentage, right, of your niche audience, those medical oncologists, those oncologists going to it. But this is much more precise. This is like 100% because it's one-to-one. So let me get into the specifically the how the ads are shown, and then I'll get into more about the NPI numbers. What we want to be able to do is be able to distribute your brand message across multiple sites, thousands of websites, right? So think about it as your normal media consumption, right? News, sports, weather, finance, travel, fashion, any of those sites, we're going to be able to reach your niche HCP online, specifically with your brand message and banner ads. And I'm going to showcase that here in a moment. But the great thing about this targeting too is just like you and I have 4 different devices I go back and forth with, right? So mobile phone, laptop, tablet, obviously desktop computer as well. And the great thing about this targeting is when these banner ads are shown across those lifestyle sites, we can take it cross device, meaning we can go across mobile phone, laptop, desktop, and tablet as well. So it's a great way to interact, influence, educate, right, your niche HCP about those oncologists. So let's get nerdy for a moment. Let's talk about that NPI database, and it's required by HIPAA. So every single HCP must have and use, really it's focused on financial transactions, right? They want to be able to track those people. It's a unique identifier. Everybody has a different one. So we know, and we can leverage that data to reach them. The great thing about it, and I'm going to showcase it here, is this is the holy grail moment for a lot of clients when we get into this, is the reporting. The reporting's so granular and specific. We have a report every single week or every month that we showcase to clients. They typically share that with the sales team for more follow-up. But what we can do is provide first name, last name, hospital affiliation, address, so you know which HCP is actually interacting with your brand. And I'm going to showcase that report here in a moment. But let's get back into the specific NPI numbers. Covered HCPs and all healthcare plans and healthcare providers must, again, use these unique NPI numbers. And honestly, this is a link I'll include it in the description below, but anybody can download this full database, right? But where we're mining this data and helping bridging the gap for our clients is specifically around leveraging that data and then using it online. And data, right? Data is one of those things where your data is getting sold every single day, whether it's credit card data, whether it's DMV data, right? And so it's being monetized. And that's how we're doing it here. We're leveraging it, but we're definitely doing it in a safe way, obviously. So I wanted to showcase specifically how it works, how we're able to leverage the NPI numbers. So let's get into it here. So if you're trying to reach those medical oncologists, and when you're planning for ASCO, right, you want to influence them several months ahead, right? You want to be able to educate, influence, so they know about your solution before they show up to ASCO. So typically, when we're launching these types of campaigns, we're launching them 4 months ahead of time, 90 days ahead of time, because it takes time to influence them digitally, right? Things don't just happen overnight, especially if they have never seen your brand, they've never seen your solution. How do you influence them, right? Well, it doesn't happen overnight, right? It takes definitely several months. So medical oncologists, they visit a website that uses their email address. Let's say it's a shopping experience, right? Once they log in with their email, we can start tracking them, right? It's a logged in experience. We know they're online. And the unique thing about our data provider with this is it's based on their personal email address. That's how we can identify, that's how we know they're online. And then as they navigate online, again, they go to sports, news, weather, finance, travel. We're able to show your ad specifically to them. And then at the end of the day, those banner ads, right? We want to be able to influence, educate them. Think of those banner ads as a way to educate specifically your audience. It's not to click to book a meeting, right? If they've never seen your solution, they've never heard of your brand, right? They've never seen your product, they've never seen your test. They're not going to book a meeting, right? You want to influence them. Think of this as a top of the funnel awareness tactic, right? Be educational. If you've got a webinar, if you've got a KOL that's speaking about your solution, how it works, about your test, and better patient care and better outcomes, drive them to that as far as your website and landing page. And that's really the whole goal of this, right? We want your niche HCP, we want those medical oncologists to show interest, visit your website. And that's where the targeting comes in, but then also the reporting. So anybody that clicks on the ad, since they have the unique identifier, they have that unique number, we can leverage that. We can have the report. You can send that to the sales team. The sales team can obviously follow up and say, hey, Johnny, Dr. Smith, whoever it is, right? They have context. We can send that report. We know specifically these list of people have visited your website. And then as a marketer, right, that's the great opportunity for you to start the HCP retargeting, right? We all are familiar with retargeting and how it works. And if you don't know how it works, I'm going to break it down here. And you've probably seen this stat. And if you haven't seen this stat, well, this will be an eye opener for you. But most people that visit your website, they're not converting, right? It's very a low percent. Only 3% of users actually convert on their very first visit. So what we want to be able to do, and this goes back to marketing for many, many years, is you want to influence, educate them, right, multiple times. Typically takes, and I haven't seen the latest stat, but 10 to 12 times to actually resonate with someone. So that's where retargeting really comes in. We follow them specifically, again, across lifestyle sites. It's a great way to influence them to come back to your website, come back to get your information and learn more about your solution. So here's the great thing about the reporting, as I was teeing up earlier, is we share a report that can be either weekly or monthly with the sales team and then also the marketing team. This report is so specific and so granular. Clients drool over this report because it's really lead gen, right? It's a lead gen opportunity because you know the first name, the last name, the address, if they have any type of hospital affiliation, right? You've got all that information. So it's very actionable data where you can share with the sales team. Your VP of sales is going to be salivating over this report once they start seeing it every single week, every single month. They're going to be like, okay, I'm going to get with my team, upload it to Salesforce. The team can go in there, right? It's all based on territory. So again, we'll have the address. You can segment those leads based on territories across the United States, and then assign those based on the rep that's actually following them. So that's what most clients are doing to take that actionable data. And the great thing about this too, it's specifically, again, hyper relevant. It's focused. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to create a quick PDF of a report, and I'm going to put it in the show notes, the description below, so you can check this out. And then full circle here. So when it comes to cost per thousand CPMs, if you remember the first video, and if you haven't watched the other video, I'm going to include that in the link again below in the description. So you're going to want to check it out, because I'm comparing, obviously, if you want to reach those niche HCPs on ASCO and their website, they have a $400 cost per thousand. Just to be transparent, our cost per thousand is anywhere from $70 to $100. It's in that range, depending on, again, which niche HCP you're trying to target. Specifically, if you're trying to target medical oncologists, you're going to be in that range as well. And then we can slice and dice it. There's roughly right now just under 4,900 medical oncologists that we can target. So just think about it. If you're launching a product, if you've got new data that you're releasing, if you've got a new update to your solution, right? How do you influence specifically your niche HCP online, right? And the best way to do that specifically is creating this sort of holistic approach, right? So if you're planning for any of those things that I mentioned, product launch, data that you're releasing, a new solution, right? It's a great way to influence, educate, and potentially convert your audience to either book a meeting or showcase that, hey, you're going to be at ASCO in 2024. Here's the booth number, and it's a great tactic. If you found this information valuable and helpful, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe button below, because I'm going to continue to crank out these videos focused on ASCO as I do a lot of my planning. I've got some great topics that I'm going to be showcasing in the next few videos. To tee it up specifically, I'm going to get into digital out of home, which is a great way to stand out when you go, obviously, to Chicago. And if you're a medical oncologist, a great way to get some brand recognition, right? It's get your brand out there through digital out of home. So if you haven't thought about digital out of home, I'm going to break it down next week. The other tactic I'm going to showcase specifically is called geofencing. And if you haven't heard of geofencing, that's totally fine. I'm going to get you up to speed in one of the episodes that's coming up in this video series. So again, like, subscribe. I'm going to hopefully continue to bring you valuable information regarding ASCO and your planning for next year. Bye for now.